And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the last Monday of September. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. Where did September go? Am I the only one feeling that way? That everything just seems to be like boom, 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 boom. Which goes in with today's topic, over overwhelmed. Order overwhelmed is what we're talking about today, and how we can stay ahead of that. Because we are, fourth quarter starts in just a few days, and we want to make sure that we don't get overwhelmed because it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it will happen. Now, if this is the first time here or a long time here, I need to know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in the area, and make sure to go like and subscribe and share. Sharing is caring, folks. It's free. It's free for you to be able to do that. As far as what's in the drink this morning, we got a little Celsius Live Fit Galaxy vibe. That's what we're rocking with this morning. It's going to be gorgeous this week. I think we're in Midwest Summer 3, I think is where we're at with it. I think we're heading to like 90s this week. Let me double check because it's some wild week of weather here, which, hey, I guess we'll take it, as long as it doesn't translate to a crappy thing. Yeah, we got like 90 today, 90 tomorrow, 86 on Wednesday, 87 Thursday, 88 on Friday, 80s. We're at 80s for the next week. It doesn't drop down to 70s till next weekend. So, ooh, baby, we got some stuff rocking. Did you have a good weekend? Let's start with there. We worked, we got stuff done, we got stuff organized. We had a we had baseball, and we were able to throw some stuff on the smoker. And most importantly, we got a Bears win, baby. It wasn't pretty, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Take it. Uh, let's go through our stuff. When are we getting pink flock back in? I don't know if we'll get pink flock back in. Blue is our flock, and so we still have plenty of blue flock. In fact, they got an order to place meeting on Wednesday. Wednesday to go over that with our manufacturer to see. So I got a meeting in France on a Wednesday to go over that stuff because there's some behind the things jargon going on there. Renee, good morning. Greetings. 60 on the way to 91 Chicago. What? Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup, working on your top five. Linda, hey, all. Currently 67 on the way to 90 there in Central Texas. Hot tea in the cup, five things. Edit photos, post photos online, mentor call, 3D print, press shirts. Yeah, I guess I should get my five. We got a ton of DTF going out. We got invoices that need to get done. We got supplies that need to be ordered. We've got team stores that need to be updated. We've got meetings today. We got one, two, three, four. We got five meetings on the schedule for today. So busy, busy day there for us. Hi, Renee from Linda. Morning, Linda. Scary same temp in Texas as Chicago, right? Barb, good morning. Beautiful north central Minnesota where it's 58, sunny out. Water in the cup, five things, 3D printing, embroidered polos, product pictures, finalized bundles, website work schedule. Very nice. Connie, good morning to you. Renee says hi, or Barb says hi to Renee and Linda. Hey, Barb from Linda. Renee's five, organized week. Five, organized week. Mileage, banking, follow-up emails, and reorganize acrylic. Very nice. Hi, Connie from Barb. Morning, Barb and Connie from Renee. Stacia, good morning to you. She says hello to everyone. Yeah, it's this year has been flying by. Like we've got so much to do in such a little time. Did anybody else just feel that? It's just like, whoo, whoo. I agree, Renee. Too fast. Station owner of Bling Beauty in Couture, right? Watching from Chicago. So you're not far away. You're dealing with it. Bear down. I'll take it. Look, it was ugly, but I will take it. I will 100% take it. Hi from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, drinking coffee at 70 degrees today. Very nice. Denver crafting, Diane. Too early to know the weather. In bed still. That's not a bad thing. Love Bear football. You just got to watch all the games on replay. That was what was decided yesterday, Renee. Uh, Hello, Renee. What's that face turquoise music note? What is she doing here? What is she doing? What's Jerry doing? Yeah, go Bears, right? Good morning, Trisha, and all who enter. Love it, Barb. Yeah, look at that. We guys got all kinds of playing stuff here. There's all kinds of things going in there. So, what are we talking about today? Today is we're going to talk about how to avoid falling behind when business piles up, because there are moments in every business when orders just start coming in faster than you can handle. And what happens at first, it does feel super exciting, right? It's proof that your hard work is paying off. But then what? Soon, that excitement can turn into feeling overwhelmed, and especially during the fourth quarter when multiple people are placing multiple orders all at the same time. And suddenly you're buried in, shirts and transfers and rhinestones and vinyl rolls and acrylic and everything else, and no clear plan on how to get it done. And this is what I call, odor overwhelm, not odor, order overwhelm. It's not just stressful, but it can hurt your reputation. It can strain customer relationships, and it can really leave you feeling burned out. But good news, all right? This is preventable. With the right systems and boundaries and mindset, you can take on the busy season with a ton of confidence and just instead of straight panic mode. And so today we're going to talk about, 5 ways that you can avoid falling behind when orders start piling up for it. All right. Number one, big, 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 big one. Know your capacity before you promise. The first step to avoiding feeling overwhelmed is knowing how much you can actually handle. Too often, decorators say yeah to every order without even considering their time, tools, material, help. Right? But when you know your true production capacity, how many shirts can you realistically press in a day? How many rhinestone designs can you feasibly brush in a day? How many transfers can you get ordered in a day? You know, when you know the production side of things behind it, when you know your numbers, you can say yes with confidence and no without guilt. Understanding your capacity doesn't just protect your schedule, but also protects your reputation. And when you deliver on what you promise, customers trust you more, even if you say no sometimes. And that trust will take you further than scrambling to meet impossible deadlines. So I know a decorator who they could only produce about 75 shirts a week. And why? They had a full-time job. They had a full-time job. They had kids. They have things going on. So 75 was about where they felt comfortable with. And so when two different teams came on and said, "Hey, we need 100 of these," she only took on one and referred the other one to a trusted partner. Why? She knew her capacity and what she could do. This was going over it, only by 25, but that was just it, you know. Another one. We ran into this plenty of times. How many of this, when you're doing a rhinestone or a glitter or something, but you learn the hard way that, the 50, 75, 100 plus order of that just isn't possible with your current setup because the time that it takes, right? It takes the time to cut the flock, to brush it in, to do everything with it. Yeah, the time. And so now you just use a spreadsheet. All right, here's how long I know what stuff takes me. Here's this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and outsource this. And you know that, okay, here's how much time this is gonna take. I know how long this job will take. Now I can either say yes or I can say no to it. All right. So this action step, pretty easy. Just track how long it takes you to complete, a standard order of 10, 20 items. All right. Multiply that out to see your weekly capacity and then use that number as your guide before saying yes. All right. Number two, let's prioritize like a pro. Right. When orders are stacking up, not everything can get done at once. And that's where prioritization comes in. Instead of bouncing between projects and this and that and here and there, let's just figure out what needs to be first, what needs to be finished first, what can wait, and what requires the least effort for the biggest payoff. Prioritizing is going to keep moving you forward instead of spinning you in circles. Now, good prioritization. Oh, why do I use words that make sense in my head when they come out of my mouth? This also helps customers feel seen and respected. When you communicate clearly about order timelines, people don't panic. They just want to know when to expect their stuff, right? By tackling the most urgent or highest value jobs first, You keep your customers happy and your stress lower, right? So I know somebody who uses colored sticky notes. I think Renee uses colored paper, right? They have red for urgent orders, yellow for medium orders, and green for low priority orders. And so they just put a sticky note on each one of them, and they know, hey, that one needs my attention over this one. Okay. Um, and it's somebody else that when it comes to as we get here into the holiday season, with they're more sublimation, so they do things like mugs and ornaments and that. But they will go ahead and knock out those quick one-off ones before going into production mode where they can clearly go through everything. So they'll clear out the queue of the one-off ones before they go into it. So for this one, we just need to make a priority list of all of our current orders today. Mark each one as urgent, medium, or low priority, and then tackle them in that order. Pretty simple, pretty right. All right. Number three. Now it's time to train the customers. What are we going to train them to do? We're going to train them to order early because one of the biggest causes to feel overwhelmed is when everybody waits until the last minute. Anybody else feel that? Customers don't realize how much time their orders actually take. So they pile it on right before deadlines. The key here is training them to order early with clear cutoff dates, reminders, maybe even a small incentive. Right? By setting and repeating early order expectations, you shift from that crunch from you to them, right? Customers are still going to procrastinate, right? But the more you enforce your deadlines, the fewer late night rush jobs you'll face. And you're going to feel more in control and less buried. So for this, like Christmas cutoff, December 10th, promote it, promote it, promote it, promote it in October, promote it in November, promote it in there. And then, hey, what happens after that? Now you're paying rush fees for it. Just what we did. We know how many of this where you're a parent that turned into a decorator and, their leagues want orders and they want to buy the first practice. Well, this is what we need to do. We need to set it up early. We need to do this. We need to do this. Here's a production. Here's everything is. So we need to do this a month before so you can have them for the first practice. Okay. So we know what our stuff is and we get it done. Now, action step here is we just need to pick one upcoming season, holiday, event, and just set the cutoff time now, right? Post it every week and remind customers weekly if that's when it is. So before we get on to 4 and 5, let's check in and see where else what do we miss in here in there. Yeah, Jerry, I lose my emoticons sometimes. I need to use the YouTube ones. Yeah. Connie, been on vacation the last 10 days and orders came flooding in. I have long days ahead of me. Well, congrats on taking the vacation. Highly deserved. What a blessing, though, right? Absolutely. Amen to that, Todd. It's great, Connie. Hope you had a great vacation. Always expect a malfunction of some type. Always, 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 always. All right. Let's see. What was it? Time Pasha. I don't even know what the time Pasha. Temperature? That's what I think when I see that. Good morning, Peggy. Jeez. Morning, Peggy. How are you doing? Carol, I'm in the UK. Do you have a distributor over here? No, but we'll ship international. We'll ship international because we'll ship. I just had stuff go out to Canada that we did on Saturday. Go Steelers. I mean, okay. Great tips, Tom. You're welcome, Barb. Journey vacation was very fun and relaxing. Thank God this is my only job. I'm very excited. Yes, yes, it is. Colored papers. That's what it is for different jobs. Yellow for apparel, green for decal, blue for laser. I knew it was something like that. And Cindy, good morning to you. 62, headed 89, energy drink number 2. I'm following behind you. Install steps, cut marine vinyl, card a lot of earrings, make wire spiders, press towels. My last outdoor show of the year, Saturday. Where's that one at? Connie, it's always a blessing to have orders after vacay. Yes, it is. Morning, Cindy and Peggy from Renee. Here, Jerry, my son watched, but I missed it. I had a house full. Very nice. House full is fun. And Cindy, do you have any pics of your last outdoor setup? Would love to see how a pro does it. Raymond, good morning to you. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Yes, it is. Peggy, we could not get it here in Ohio. Yeah, you can. You just got to use a VPN. Peggy, I mean, because we have to use a VPN to be able to watch our local CBS because otherwise, with our internet thinks we're in Minnesota, so we get all of Minnesota stuffs. So I had to switch to our VPN to Chicago so I can get the Bears game on CBS. That's how we did it. All right, let's see. Lions. You guys had, you guys deserve it. He has the season pass. Ooh, there you go. I can't be friends with Jerry anymore. Well, I get it. I get it, Jeff. I get it. All right. Back into this. Uh, number 4. Let's break those big orders into batches. All right. Anybody else feel overwhelmed because they have huge orders and you just see it as one massive mountain? Right. That trick is going to be breaking them into smaller, manageable batches. Instead of focusing on 200 shirts, thinking of 20 batches of 10, 10 batches of 20, right? Each batch becomes a win and you can check it off. And before long, the mountain is behind you. So, batching is also going to improve efficiency when you group similar tasks, like cutting all your HTV at once, pressing all the same kind of transfers in one session, or doing decals all together. You save time and you reduce mistakes. All right. So, an apparel decorator that they tackle everything in batches. So they had a 150 shirt order. They just did it in 3 groups of 50. Pressed one group per day, and they moved on. Why? They were doing other things. They had plenty of time in their the production schedule that they'd given the client. Here's where stuff is with it. They did it there. So they banged them all out in the day? Absolutely. But they chose to break this up so they didn't feel like they were getting burned out doing it. Hey, instead of just doing one marathon thing, they broke it up into little things. Another one, used to complete things one at a time. Like we're doing this order, and then we're going to this one, and then we're going to that one. Now, switched over to batching, and they do everything by here's all these designs. Here's all these designs. Here's this. Keeps everything the same with it. So, what can we do? For next large order, just divide it into smaller groups and then write the groups on a checklist so you can track the project. And most importantly, you can celebrate the milestones of winning by completing each batch for it. Uh, and number 5, let's go slowly on this one. Okay. Give yourself recovery time. That's right. You know, when you feel overwhelmed, when does it happen? It just doesn't happen in production. It happens when you don't give yourself time to rest. If you push nonstop, exhaustion builds up and your work quality slips. Building in recovery time, even if it's just an afternoon off, it keeps you sharp and you're able to handle those busy seasons better. And rest is not wasted time. I know sometimes it feels like that. Oh, I shouldn't just be here relaxing and doing that. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Well, it's not wasting time. It's fuel for better performance. By protecting your energy, what are you doing? You're going to handle customers more patiently. You're going to spot mistakes before they happen. You're going to keep your creativity alive. Long term, this is what's going to keep you from burning out and quitting altogether. So, I know a lot of people that Sundays, no production days, right? On Sundays, they don't do any production. I know some that don't do anything on Sundays. It's a no work day. That's not a production digital side of things. Do it for a couple hours, but they take that and it becomes family time. You know, it gave them, the reset that they need to power through each week. Just relax. For me, we have baseball, we have football. Throw stuff on the smoker. It's just relax. I can do a few things here and there, but I try not to do anything on Sunday. You know, I know another one that when we set it up for them, they took off one afternoon a week. Yep, that's just what they did. They were done at 1 and they just had it off. They do it on Wednesday. They might attend some meetings, they might attend some luncheons, they might attend something, but for the most part, they're out of the office every Wednesday afternoon. And why? Just breaks up the week. It avoids the crash that comes with overworking. So, what do we need to do? All right. Just look at your calendar. Can you block out, a full break day? Can you break out a half day? You know, let's treat it like a business appointment that you cannot cancel. So if you're not going to work on Sunday, we're not working on Sunday. Only doing this. Wednesdays, we're done at 1 o'clock. Fridays, we're done at 3 o'clock. Just do it. Okay. So to recap all this, you know, order overwhelm happens when the excitement of too many sales turns into the exhaustion of too many demands. But with the right approach, we can stay ahead of that without burning out. And how do we do this? Well, we know our capacity before we promise. We prioritize like a pro. We train our customers to order early. We break orders into big batches and we give ourselves recovery time. So remember that overwhelming doesn't have to be a part of your story. With boundaries, systems, and intentional rest, you can take on the busy season with confidence, and OMG, you might even enjoy it. So what I got for you today. Fourth quarter is quickly upon us. In fact, we have fourth quarter starting on Wednesday. Fourth quarter, Wednesday, October 1st. And what are we talking about on Wednesday? Woo, confidence in selling, right? Breaking out of that friends and family circle. So, if you're stuck only selling to friends and family, hey, you're not alone. And really, it's holding you back your business. So we're going to talk about breaking down how to build confidence in selling, so you can approach more schools, more people, more businesses, and new customers without panic. So that's what we're going to talk to. Jerry, Fat Daddy Q. Fat Daddy Q will be that channel, will be that page. I wanted to do business and bourbons, but I don't know if I need that many bottles of bourbon around. But I wanted to cook up stuff. I wanted to put a camera out of the smoker, out of the Blackstone, out of the grill, and just chit chat as we go over stuff. And it was we were talking about doing tequila too. Tequila and Todd. Ooh, I don't know about that one, but believe me, I have dreams where I'd love to do that. Let's see. Where are we? There. Let's see. I can't be. Yeah. Not after that horrible comment. That's right. uh, Danielle spent yesterday digitizing all products I plan to do this week. Very nice. Very nice. Batching is such a time saver. Yes. Yes. I still need to replay for 12-week. It's in the link, Cherry. It's in the link. It's in the link. It's in the link. It should be in the link. I'll double check, but it should be in the link there for it. Watching the Bears is not, or watching the Bengals is not relaxing. Watching the Bears is not relaxing either. Um, I thought I had some great ribs he was grilling. I did. We did. So I threw pork butt on Saturday night at like 7, 8 o'clock, so that we'd be ready for dinner last night. And then before we left for ball yesterday, I threw ribs on because I knew that they'd be done just about they would be time to wrap and go right by the time we got back from ball. So I could do that, finish it up. That's why I love the smoker. I can do so much with it. It's like the outside crock pot. And crock pot, do you spell that with a C or with a K? That's another thing that's on my mind lately. Absolutely, Renee. Same with the Bears. Jerry, have a link for it. I'll send you in the Discord once I'm in the computer. There you go. Yeah, I told you I want to do it. I will be at Vibrant Coffee House Fall Festival. Ooh, bring the golf cart. Yeah, I'll take pics. I can easily pack my entire setup, tent, 2 tables, display merch, my kid, and my convertible. There we go. Yeah, because it's what time is that on Saturday? Saturday, I'm assuming, right? In your original order link, when you ordered and you got the PDF, it should be in there. Uh, because Danielle, it depends on the channel that you're on. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're broadcasting on 5 different channels, and you should see. I think we decided was right here is the live chat of everything there, and so that should be bringing in all the platforms from all the chats from all the platforms that we're broadcasting to. So this one right there, right, should show all of those. So if somebody's on a different YouTube channel, you wouldn't see those, but you would see it in here. I did marketing last night. Why I was watching ball and then Big Brother finale. So the girls had to watch that, and I was working on stuff. Yeah, Like, what are you? Corey's telling me. What do you? Who? What? When? Where?
Yes, you're bringing pink flock in.
Nope, that was the first one, Corey. That
I just didn't see
was-
it.
Corey, don't hate Steeler Nation. I can't. I mean, I can't hate. If you got a team in football that you love, there's a reason you love it. Peggy, exactly. We don't hate others. No, we don't. I don't hate others unless you're a Packers fan. I don't even know it. Whatever. It's just football, right? Neither was the Cowboys. It was. Ooh, that was a game, right? That was a game. That was a game that turned into it. I'll take it. Like yesterday, I sent Brian a message. His wife's a Raiders fan, and I said, "Hey, not going to talk any crap today because, hey, this is just what it is." And then I finished it with "Go Ravens" because they were playing the Chiefs. So that's what we got. Okay, so we got that finished up. Tuesday with Todd tomorrow night. We are going to talk glow, and there's a slim chance that we're going to do some pressing live. If we can make the stuff work between today and tomorrow, there's a chance that that's going to happen. So we're going to talk glow, easy glow HTV. I've got a set of designs that we're working on that I'm hoping to have finished up here today, so we can have those listed tomorrow before everything is there. There's some sugar skull designs that we're gonna do where hey, they'll be single color, but then guess what? You can break them apart and do multicolor with it. So plan is to showing that off because the glow is fantabulous. So that's what we got tomorrow, and then like I said, Wednesday confidence in selling. Wednesday's also the first of the fourth quarter. Ooh, ooh, we got it, we got it, we got it. So, with that, you guys have an amazing day. We will be back on Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow night, Tuesday with Todd. I learned last week that I need to give a little break before I hit the button because sometimes it cuts me off. So, I'm going to make sure I do that. So, until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on, and we will see you next time.